Welcome to History Scraps. Today we explore 9 bizarre mysteries from history. Imagine a Christmas Eve fire engulfing your home, but when the flames die down, 5 of your children are nowhere to be found. Not in the ashes, not outside, simply vanished without a trace. On December 24, 1945, the Sodder family in Fayetteville, West Virginia, went to bed, unaware their lives were about to be ripped apart. A fire mysteriously erupted in the early hours, trapping George and Jenny Sodder, but 5 of their 10 children were unaccounted for. Firefighters arrived late, their equipment frozen, and by morning the house was a smoldering ruin. Officials quickly concluded the children perished in the blaze, but the parents found no bone fragments, no trace, not even the smell of burned flesh. Years later, strange clues emerged. A mysterious phone call shortly before the fire, a strange car seen observing the house, and alleged sightings of the children alive. A purported photo of one son, Louis, even appeared decades later, fueling the chilling possibility of abduction. To this day, the fate of the Sodder children remains one of America's most perplexing cold cases. Were they consumed by the flames, their bodies utterly incinerated, or did they vanish into the night, taken by unknown hands? The truth remains buried, perhaps forever. And now, let us move on to our next mystery. Imagine a world where the color of your cloak, the fabric of your gown, even the length of your shoe, wasn't a matter of personal taste, but a strict legal dictate. For centuries, across empires and kingdoms, sumptuary laws ruled not just fashion, but society itself. These weren't mere fashion guidelines, they were powerful tools of control, designed to enforce social hierarchy and prevent excess. From ancient Rome to Elizabethan England, these laws dictated who could wear silk, who could don purple, or even who could wear gold embroidery. In medieval Europe, only royalty could wear ermine fur, while commoners were limited to simpler wools and linens. In Japan, during the Edo period, specific fabrics and dyes were reserved for the samurai class, making social status instantly visible. Violations could lead to public humiliation, fines, or even imprisonment. As societies modernized and economies shifted, these rigid sartorial restrictions gradually began to unravel. The rise of the merchant class, coupled with changing social dynamics, made such strict enforcement increasingly difficult and impractical. While direct sumptuary laws largely faded by the 19th century, their legacy subtly persists in many cultures even today, in unspoken dress codes and societal expectations. So next time you choose your outfit, pause to consider: are you truly free, or are invisible sumptuary rules still at play? And now, let us move on to our next mystery. What if the secret to gleaming white teeth and impeccably clean clothes in ancient Rome was something we now flush away without a second thought? Prepare to uncover a truly startling aspect of Roman daily life, an ingenious solution born from necessity. The Romans, it turns out, were keen observers of chemistry, long before the science was formally understood. They discovered that stale urine, rich in ammonia, was a powerful disinfectant and whitening agent, leading to its widespread use as a surprisingly effective mouthwash. But dental hygiene was only the beginning of urine's remarkable utility. Roman fullers, the ancient world's laundry professionals, used vast quantities of it to bleach and degrease wool and tunics, often stomping on clothes submerged in the pungent liquid. This wasn't just a quirky habit. Urine was a valuable commodity, collected from public urinals and even private homes. So important was this resource that Emperor Vespasian famously taxed its collection, coining the immortal phrase, pecunia non olet, money does not stink. From sparkling teeth to pristine tunics, the Romans found practical applications in the most unexpected places. It's a pungent reminder that innovation often springs from necessity, pushing the boundaries of what we consider normal, even if it makes us wince today. And now, let us move on to our next mystery. Imagine a courtroom where the accused isn't just silent, but utterly lifeless. A corpse, rotting and cold, propped up to face judgment in one of history's most bizarre and macabre spectacles. This was the chilling reality of the Cadaver Synod in 897 AD, orchestrated by Pope Stephen VI against his predecessor, Pope Formosus. Driven by bitter political rivalries, Stephen sought to invalidate Formosus's entire papacy, even after his death. In the hallowed halls of the Basilica of St. John Lateran, the decomposed body of Pope Formosus was exhumed and dressed in papal robes. Propped upon a throne, a deacon stood beside the cadaver, answering for the deceased in a truly grotesque and unprecedented trial. The verdict was swift and damning. Formosus was declared unworthy, his papacy annulled, and his consecrations invalid. Then came the chilling punishment. 3 fingers, used for blessings, were severed from his right hand, and his desecrated body was stripped and cast into the Tiber River. Yet the story doesn't end there. Public outrage led to Pope Stephen VI's imprisonment and strangulation, and Formosus's body was later recovered by a fisherman, reportedly still intact. This dark chapter remains a testament to the brutal political struggles that once stained the sacred office, a shocking reminder of power's ultimate corruption. And now, let us move on to our next mystery. Imagine a gem so breathtaking, so incredibly rare, that its very beauty is rumored to be a harbinger of doom. For centuries, this legendary jewel has woven a tapestry of tragedy, misfortune, and even death around its owners. Its sinister reputation began in the ancient mines of India, where it was believed to have been plucked from the eye of a sacred idol. Legend claims that any who dared to possess the stolen gem would face the wrath of the gods, bringing them unparalleled sorrow and destruction. When it arrived in France, eventually becoming part of the French crown jewels, its curse seemed to take hold with terrifying precision. Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, lavish wearers of the diamond, met their end by the guillotine, their monarchy crumbling in revolution. Through the 19th and early 20th centuries, the diamond passed through the hands of European aristocrats and American socialites, leaving a trail of suicides, murders, bankruptcies, and madness. One owner was shot, another committed suicide, and several others faced financial ruin. Today, the magnificent Hope diamond rests in a museum, protected behind layers of security. Yet, its dazzling blue light still carries the whispers of its dark past, leaving us to ponder. Is its curse merely folklore, or does the jewel still hold a silent, ominous power over those who dare to admire it? And now, let us move on to our next mystery. Imagine a nation's military, armed with machine guns, deployed to fight an enemy that wasn't a foreign power, but rather a flock of birds. This isn't a cartoon, it's a bizarre chapter from Australian history. In 1932, Western Australian farmers, struggling with the Great Depression, faced an unexpected foe: 20,000 migrating emus destroying their crops. Desperate, they called for military assistance, leading to what became known as the Great Emu War. Major G.P.W. Meredith led the charge with soldiers and 2 machine guns, expecting an easy victory against the feathered invaders. But these weren't ordinary birds. The emus proved to be surprisingly agile and strategic opponents. Despite firing thousands of rounds, the soldiers struggled to hit the fast-moving, dispersed targets. The emus learned to evade, breaking into smaller groups, turning what was meant to be a swift operation into a frustrating, comical stalemate. After weeks, the war was officially declared a failure, with the military withdrawing, humiliated by their feathered adversaries. The Great Emu War remains a peculiar reminder that sometimes nature truly does win, even against human artillery. And now, let us move on to our next mystery. Imagine a world where poison wasn't just hidden in shadows, but proudly displayed in every corner of your home, worn on your body, and even tasted on your tongue. For Victorians, this terrifying reality was a daily, unwitting embrace of arsenic. It was everywhere, a secret killer masquerading as beauty. That vibrant, fashionable green on your parlor wallpaper? It was Scheele's green, created with copper arsenite, subtly releasing its deadly dust into the air with every passing day. The very walls breathed poison, slowly sickening entire households without a trace of suspicion. But the danger didn't stop there. Craving a sweet treat, those alluring green sugar flowers adorning cakes and candies were also laced with arsenic, tempting children and adults alike with their fatal beauty. Even confectioners used it to achieve deceptively vibrant hues. Fashion, too, became a deadly statement. Elegant dresses shimmered with arsenic-laden dyes, shedding toxic particles onto the wearer's skin and the air around them. Beauticians even promised a rosy glow from arsenic pills, unknowingly leading to a slow, internal decay. So many unexplained illnesses, so many mysterious deaths of the Victorian era, might very well have been the silent work of this omnipresent killer. The true extent of arsenic's role in the lives and deaths of an entire generation remains a chilling, whispered secret of history. And now, let us move on to our next mystery. Imagine a world where ancient civilizations harnessed electricity. For centuries, a humble clay pot found near Baghdad has whispered such a tale, challenging everything we thought we knew about early technology. Unearthed in 1938, this unassuming artifact, dating back over 2,000 years, contained a copper cylinder, an iron rod, and traces of corrosion. It looked strikingly similar to a modern battery cell. Researchers proposed that, when filled with an electrolyte like vinegar or grape juice, this device could generate a small electric current. Some even theorized it was used for electroplating jewelry or for early forms of electrotherapy. Yet, not everyone agrees. Skeptics suggest it might have been a simple storage vessel for sacred scrolls or a container for medicines. Its true purpose remains hotly debated, shrouded in the sands of time. So, was the Baghdad Battery a forgotten marvel of ancient engineering, proof of a lost electrical age? Or is it simply a historical curiosity misinterpreted by modern eyes? The secret still hums silently from within its clay walls. And now, let us move on to our next mystery. Imagine a grand medieval feast, but your plate isn't ceramic or metal. Instead, it's a thick slice of stale bread, a culinary secret from centuries past that might just surprise you. This ingenious solution was called a trencher. Far from being part of the meal, these day-old bread slabs were designed to be durable, absorbent foundations for the rich stews and succulent roasted meats. Lords, ladies, and even commoners would have their portions piled directly onto these edible platforms. The trencher efficiently soaked up all the delicious juices and gravies, a truly practical piece of tableware. But what happened to these food-soaked bread plates? They weren't simply thrown away. Often, they were collected and given to servants, the poor, or even fed to animals. A testament to medieval resourcefulness. So, the next time you finish a meal, consider the humble trencher. A disposable, biodegradable plate centuries ahead of its time, revealing a fascinating glimpse into a past where nothing went to waste. Thanks for watching History Scraps. Subscribe for more strange history.